In 1917, young women in Orange, New Jersey begin work at the United States Radium Corporation, painting watch dials with glowing paint. They are told it is safe and enjoy the shimmer on their hands and faces as they work under bright lamps. Each woman mixes her own paint using radium, zinc sulfide, and gum arabic. The glow is faint at first, but brightens as they stir. They are paid a penny and a half per dial, pushing to finish 250 each day. Supervisors instruct the painters to keep their brushes sharp by licking the tips, lip, dip, paint to save time and material. The women do it without hesitation, unaware of the danger. Some women paint their nails and faces for fun, laughing as they glow in the dark. They do not know that radium is mimicking calcium in their bodies, binding to their bones. Grace Fryer leaves the factory in 1920 for a bank job. She is proud of her new position, but soon notices her teeth loosening. Her jaw begins to ache, and she feels fatigue. No rest can cure. Amelia Maggia, another dial painter, suffers severe jaw pain by 1921. Her dentist finds her teeth won't heal after extraction. The bone fails to regenerate, and lesions appear in her gums. Doctors are baffled by Amelia's condition. They suspect syphilis, a common diagnosis used to discredit women with unexplained illness. No one considers the radium she ingested at work. By 1922, Amelia's jaw collapses. She dies at 25, her face disfigured. The cause is unknown, but her case is not isolated. Other dial painters fall ill with similar symptoms. Grace Fryer's health worsens over the next years. Her bones fracture easily, and she develops anemia. Doctors find bone decay but cannot explain it. She begins to suspect her past work. In 1923, the first dial painter dies from radium poisoning. Before her death, her jaw falls away from her skull. The case draws attention, but the company denies any link to the paint. By 1924, 50 women from the plant are ill. A dozen have died. The United States Radium Corporation blames infections, syphilis, or poor health before employment. The company hires Cecil Kent Drinker and Catherine Roton Drinker from Harvard to investigate. They find the factory coated in radium dust with no protection for workers. Drinker concludes that continuous radium exposure is harming the workers. He prepares to publish his findings, but company president Arthur Roeder threatens a lawsuit. Drinker withdraws his report under pressure. The company submits an altered version to the New Jersey Department of Labor, downplaying the risks and shifting blame. Alice Hamilton, a colleague at Harvard, discovers the alteration. She informs Drinker, who then releases his original findings, exposing the company's deception. The New Jersey Labor Commissioner orders safety measures. The factory closes in 1927, but the damage is already done. More than 50 women have died from radium poisoning. Grace Fryer decides to sue in 1925, but finds no lawyer willing to take the case. The statute of limitations is 2 years, and she is running out of time. She finally finds Raymond Berry, a young attorney, willing to represent her. He takes her case knowing it will be difficult, but believes in her right to justice. Grace is joined by 4 other dial painters: Edna Hussman, Catherine Schaub, Quinta MacDonald, and Albina Larice. MacDonald and Larice are sisters of Amelia Maggia. The women file their lawsuit in May 1927. The press dubs them the Radium Girls. Their case gains public sympathy as their health visibly declines. Dr. Harrison Martland, county physician of Newark, begins investigating the deaths. He suspects radium is accumulating in the women's bones, causing fatal disease. Martland studies the remains of deceased dial painters. He finds high levels of radium in their bones, especially in the jaw. The radium has replaced calcium, destroying tissue. He discovers that radium emits alpha particles, which damage bone marrow and cause necrosis. The women are not dying from infection, they are being poisoned from within. Martland publishes his findings in 1925, linking radium ingestion to aplastic anemia and bone decay. It is the first medical proof connecting workplace exposure to fatal illness. The company dismisses Martland's study. They claim the women were exposed to X-rays during medical exams, ignoring that the dose is trivial compared to daily radium intake. Frederick Flynn, a toxicologist contracted by USRC, examines the women. He lacks a medical license, and his reports downplay their condition, calling it imagined suffering. Some doctors refuse to release data complying with company requests. Workers are told they are unfit or infected, not poisoned by the paint they use daily. Grace's lawyer, Barry, struggles to find experts willing to testify. Many are tied to the company or fear professional backlash for speaking out against a defense contractor. The case moves slowly. By January 1928, 2 of the women are bedridden. None can raise their arms to swear an oath in court. The trial is delayed. The company continues to deny wrongdoing. They argue the women ingested radium outside the factory, despite the lip, dip, paint instruction being standard practice. Dr. Savin Arnold von Sochacki, inventor of the radium paint, dies in November 1928. He succumbed to radium poisoning, becoming the 16th known victim. His death helps the women's case. If the inventor died from his creation, how could the workers be safe? the public begins to see the injustice. The case is settled in autumn 1928. The company agrees to pay each woman $10,000 $600 annual annuity and cover all medical and legal expenses. The annuity is $12 per week for life. Though modest, it is a victory. The women are vindicated, but too late for many. All 5 are dead by the 1930s. Grace Fryer dies in 1933 at 34 from a radium-induced sarcoma in her shoulder. Her bones are riddled with decay, her body consumed by the glow she once admired. In Illinois, women at the Radium Dial Company begin falling ill by 1926. They are unaware of the New Jersey cases and are told to paint is safe. Management introduces glass pens to stop lip pointing, but workers reject them. Paid by the piece, they return to brushes, continuing to ingest radium daily. When news of the New Jersey lawsuit spreads, the women are told it was a viral outbreak. Company co-founder George Willis lectures them on radium's supposed safety. The company conducts medical tests but withholds results. Workers ask for compensation in 1927 but are refused. The denial continues for nearly a decade. In 1937, 5 women secure attorney Leonard Grossman. He takes the case pro bono, knowing they cannot afford legal fees. The Illinois Industrial Commission hears the case at Catherine Donahue's home. She is too sick to travel, lying in bed as the hearing proceeds. In spring 1938, the commission rules in favor of the women, but Radium Dial has closed and moved to New York, leaving no local funds for payout. The company appeals, hoping to overturn the verdict. They take the case to the U.S. Supreme Court, challenging the Commission's authority across state lines. On October 23, 1939, the Supreme Court declines to hear the appeal. The lower ruling stands, but some women receive no compensation. Catherine Donahue is already dead. Bradley D. Evans at MIT begins measuring radium in surviving dial painters in 1933. He collects data on exhaled radon and radium excretion. He gathers body content measurements from 27 painters. His work leads to the establishment of a radium tolerance level at 0.1 sci by the National Bureau of Standards in 1941. The Center for Human Radiobiology opens at Argonne National Laboratory in 1968. It provides medical exams and collects data from surviving dial painters. Over 25 years, the center collects detailed information from 2,403 cases. Tissue samples and medical histories help map the long-term effects of radium exposure. The data reveals radium-228 is more harmful than radium-226. Its shorter half-life delivers a higher dose of alpha radiation to bones, increasing cancer risk. The Radium Girls lawsuits establish the right of workers to sue corporations for occupational harm. Their cases become foundational in labor law. Industrial safety standards improve. Workers are trained in handling radioactive materials, and protective gear becomes mandatory in radioluminescent factories. Radium paint is phased out by the 1960s. Safer alternatives like promethium-147 and tritium replace it in luminous dials. In 1949, Congress passes a bill compensating workers with occupational diseases. The Radium Girls' suffering directly influences this legislation. The last radium paint factory closes in 1978. By then, the lessons of the Radium Girls have reshaped industrial safety and workers' rights. Mabel Williams, a former radium dial painter, dies in 2015 at 104. She survived because she never licked her brush, a choice that saved her life. Radiation from the Orange Factory site lingers. In 1987, Geiger counters detect radium at the graves of the Radium Girls.